everyone! Oh my goodness, I know it has been a long time since I posted a video, but that is okay. I am back and I have some tips for you. But before all of that, you're probably wondering, what's up with this? Well, I'm still in my room and I just woke up less than an hour ago and I have to get ready and everything because then I have an interview for Regions Bank today. I'm so excited about it. There's like a feeling inside of me that I might get it, but I feel like I'm just going to explode because of all the excitement or whatever. This is usually what I wear to bed. Obviously not this one because this is what I'm gonna wear in the interview, but this is what I wear to bed, well, before I get to bed, because it's so relaxing. Today I'm going to share 7 tips on how to nail that interview, whether it's a face-to-face or one-on-one interview or a group interview. It's still going to be amazing. I'm going to make sure you're amazing, so let's just get to it. My first tip for you is probably super obvious. I feel like everyone should know this already, but I just want to remind you that you have to dress appropriately. You should wear something that you can wear to work, something that's not too short if you're wearing a dress or a skirt, or not too showy if it's like a dress or a blouse. I feel like what I'm wearing right now is pretty acceptable. So this is what I'm going to wear at the interview. Or if you're wearing, like, for example, a sleeveless blouse or top, whatever you want to call it, or a dress, you can top it with a blazer just to make it semi-formal. And I feel that this is important because this is your first impression to your potential employer, because once you walk into that door, the first thing they're gonna see is you and your attire. And I'm pretty sure most, if not all, companies are very strict about that. It really depends on what kind of job you're applying for. I mean, of course, if you're trying to apply for a stripper job, then might as well walk in the room naked. No, don't do that. First thing they see is the clothes you wear, if you're wearing them like appropriately, if it's okay in the, office area or whatever. Alright, my second tip for you is specifically for group interviews. Because I say this specifically because obviously when you're in a group interview where you are with a lot of people, probably 5 to 10 people, that's based on my previous experiences. But here's the thing, if you're with a lot of people for group interviews, or maybe even if it's just the 2 of you or 3 of you, then you have to make sure that your potential employer is going to notice you by speaking up. This is so important. The first time that I went to a group interview, I didn't get the job. It was at Bell's, I believe, and that was only my second job interview ever. So I went in there and I think there was like 10 to 12 of us, and I was very shy. I was 17 and fresh out of high school, so went in there and I see all these adults around me and I just felt super shy because I'm like, not supposed to be here. I'm a child. I ended up not talking at all. Well, I talked, but only when I was asked questions, and then I learned it's not supposed to be like that, so I went to my second group interview, which is probably a year later after that, and it was at Toys R Us. And I was a little more confident and I spoke up even if I was not getting asked questions. I made jokes. Yes, I can make jokes. When you speak up, it doesn't only mean that you should be talking a lot, but it's also with the appropriate volume of your voice, not too loud like this, but not too quiet like this, but then you're talking a lot, because that doesn't really work either. Because when you speak up, your employers kind of remember you easily among all of the other applicants that was being interviewed with you. So just make sure that you do that. Okay, number 3. Like number 1, this is probably pretty obvious as well, but I'm just going to stress how important this is. Make sure that when you're speaking with your potential employer, or when you're just, chatting with someone in general, you make eye contact. I know this is not a thing that's comfortable or good for everyone. I mean, I know there are some people who are, it's difficult for them to maintain eye contact when speaking to someone, and it's difficult for me sometimes as well, especially when I don't know the person. But this is very important because I don't know, when you make eye contact with someone, you just seem sincere and serious about the stuff that you're talking about, and employers like that when you talk to them. When you talk to them like this, I'm just going to make an example scenario, if you will. Yeah, I worked at Toys R Us. Yeah, it was very fun. I don't know. It was really, really fun for me because I feel like I learned a lot of things, and you can't do that, okay? Might as well talk to the wall or ceiling the entire time. I'm pretty sure the interview is just going to last less than half an hour or less than an hour. For try and do your best to make eye contact because it's just very important. And not only that, avoid using ums or so. I think so is appropriate for some scenarios, but just try not using it because it's so informal. Well, see what I did there? Avoid using yeah. Just make it a yes, okay? I mean, there's really not much of a difference. Just say yes. Because yeah seems like you're not in an interview, you're like chatting with someone who's from the street. I have no idea. I just feel like when you use yes instead of yeah, it makes things, I don't know, more formal, I guess. I don't know how else to explain that. And also, do not speak like me because I feel like I stutter sometimes and I feel like I don't speak well in certain cases. Well, you already know English is not my first language, but whatever. You have to speak clearly. Make sure that they can understand you. If you don't understand yourself, if that sounded confusing in your head for a while, then it's probably even worse for them because they have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. So just make sure you do that. Number 4, when asked about strengths and weaknesses, like for example, they're going to ask you, so what is your strength and what is your weakness, something like that. Some employers ask that, not all. I've only been asked that once and I had no idea what to say. But when asked about your strength, make sure that it is work related. Like for example, I work well under pressure. I work very fast paced, but I make sure that I still pay attention to detail. Something like that. And when you answer about your weakness, make sure that it's out of work related areas unless your employer asks you specifically about, the work area weakness, something like that. But if not, if you're just plainly asked what about your weakness, say something that's outside of work. Like for example, I'm really bad at cooking. Something like that. Also, body language is everything. Let me say that again. Body language is everything. For example, sitting like this, that's your interviewee. Interviewer, oh my goodness. Yeah, I currently go to UWF, University of West Florida. And I think it's okay because blah 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 blah. It just doesn't look good. You look lazy, sluggish, you look like you don't really want this job, and employers love a good applicant who really wants this job. Obviously. I mean, you wouldn't hire yourself, would you, if you're looking like that? But if you sit up straight like this, and also don't forget about your head, make sure that you go chin up, not like this. Go like this. Be confident. Look like you just got your doctorate or something, and you are overqualified for the job. That's how I see it. Just look like that, and you should be good to go. Oh, also number 6. Like I said, this is probably too obvious, but so important. Basic greetings. Like for example, if you are interviews in the morning, good morning, or you're leaving now, thank you, bye. not only to the interviewer himself or herself, but also to the people around you. Like, for example, the people who are already working there. You never know. They talk in that office or wherever it is. So if you seem polite and respectful to people, which you should be anyway, even if you're not in an interview, then I feel that it's really going to help you. And last but definitely not the least, just be confident about yourself. Like I said a while ago, just think. It's all about how you think of yourself. In that moment, make yourself believe that you are overqualified for this job, but do not get too cocky or arrogant because of that, because that's probably not true if you don't have a doctorate. But let's say, for example, just think highly of yourself, just to make yourself confident. Just tell yourself, today for this interview, I have a doctorate in this field and I'm the best, and I'm gonna walk in there with this whole confidence in me, and they're going to hire me. Because when you are confident, you're able to do all of these things that we just talked about. When you're confident, you can present your attire in a really nice way, and you will be able to speak up, you will be able to speak clearly, you will be able to look active and not sluggish when sitting on a chair or just by simply standing. When you are confident, you're able to do all of those things, and you will be able to acquire that job that you're applying for. Alright? And